When healthy habits hurt, what every senior needs to know. For years, many of us have believed that taking vitamins every morning right alongside our cup of coffee is just part of staying healthy. It feels like a smart choice, doesn't it? You pick up a bottle at the store, maybe something labeled heart support or immune boost, and you add it to your daily routine, like a walk around the neighborhood or tending to the backyard garden. But here's something most people don't realize. As we get older, our bodies change, and what once helped us may actually begin to hurt us. Some common vitamin C's, even the ones advertised as essential, can build up in the body over time. And that buildup, especially in older adults, can quietly weaken our legs, dull our balance, and increase the risk of falls. You might notice it gradually, a little more effort getting up from your favorite recliner, feeling off balance on the stairs, or choosing the elevator instead of walking up to the second floor net because you're lazy, but because your legs don't feel quite right. These aren't just getting older moments. Sometimes they're warning signs. Left unchecked, they can lead to loss of mobility and with it, a loss of the freedom you've worked your whole life to enjoy. But the good news, you still have choices, small ones that make a big difference. Start by taking a closer look at what's in your supplement drawer. Talk to your doctor. Focus on real food when you can: fresh vegetables, lean proteins, meals cooked at home. Growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser. And part of that wisdom is learning when it's time to do things a little differently, for your strength, your balance, and your independence. Now, let's talk about the 3 vitamins that might be doing more harm than good. 1. The vitamin trap. When more becomes too much. A lot of us grew up believing that vitamins were the secret to staying healthy. So it's no surprise that many older adults keep a shelf stocked with supplements, vitamin E, A, B complex, and more. You pop them in the morning with your coffee, maybe after a quick stroll around the block or before heading out to the supermarket. It feels like you're doing the right thing for your body. But here's something we rarely hear. Some of these health boosters can backfire as we age, especially when taken in high doses without a doctor's guidance. Take vitamin E, for instance. It's been praised for heart health and skin aging. But if you're over 60 and taking it daily, especially more than 400 you might be doing more harm than good. Vitamin E doesn't just pass through the body like vitamin C. It gets stored in fat and the liver, building up over time. And when levels get too high, it can weaken your leg muscles and throw off your balance at things no one can afford to lose. As they get older, at first, it's easy to miss the signs. Maybe it takes more effort to get up from the recliner. Maybe you feel a bit unsteady going up the stairs at home. A short walk across the grocery store tires you out more than it used to. It's tempting to chalk it up to just aging. But these small changes might actually be your body's way of waving a red flag. And if that flag gets ignored, well, that's when the real trouble starts. Weak leg muscles lead to more falls. Poor balance means you start avoiding the things you love: gardening in the backyard, playing with grandkids, or walking your usual loop around the neighborhood. Before long, your world gets smaller, your independence shrinks, and your confidence takes a hit. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to go that way. You can start with something simple. Check your supplement labels. If you've been taking vitamin E regularly, especially without a doctor's recommendation, it might be time to reevaluate. Talk to your physician, especially one who understands aging bodies. Ask if the dosage is right for you. Also, try to rely more on food than pills. A balanced plate with leafy greens, nuts, whole grains, and lean protein gives your body the nutrients it actually needs without the risk of overdose. Supplements can be helpful, but only when they're used wisely. Getting older doesn't mean giving up control. It means learning how to care for yourself smarter, not harder. You've made it this far with strength and resilience. With just a few mindful changes, you can keep moving forward steady, safe, and strong. But vitamin E isn't the only one hiding behind a healthy label. There's another that's quietly thinning your bones and weakening your muscles. 2. The hidden risk of too much vitamin A. A lot of people believe that taking extra vitamins is a smart way to stay ahead of aging. Vitamin A, in particular, is often seen as a go-to for healthy eyes, smoother skin, and a stronger immune system. You'll find it in many multivitamins, in cod liver oil, and even in some fortified foods you might grab during a grocery run. It's the kind of supplement that feels harmless, just part of a well-meaning routine. But for older adults, too much vitamin A can quietly become a serious problem. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, which your body flushes out, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means it builds up in your liver and tissues over time. And the older we get, the harder it is for our bodies to regulate and recover from nutrient imbalances. What starts as a little extra support can slowly turn into a silent threat, especially to your bones and muscles. You might not notice anything at first. Maybe your legs feel a little more tired after walking the dog or pulling a few weeds in the backyard. Maybe you start using the handrail more when going upstairs, or sitting down to rest more often when shopping. It's easy to brush off these changes and think, that's just age catching up. But when vitamin A levels get too high, they can thin your bones, particularly in the hips and legs, and weaken the muscles that keep you stable and moving confidently. And here's the thing, fragile bones and weak leg muscles don't always give you a clear warning. Sometimes the first real sign is a fall. One misstep while gardening, or missing a stair while carrying laundry, can lead to a fracture that changes your life. A broken hip doesn't just hurt, it can mean months of rehab, or even long-term loss of independence. The good news is that there's a simple path to prevention. First, take a moment to read the labels on your vitamins. Are you taking vitamin A in multiple forms like a multivitamin plus cod liver oil or fortified foods? If so, you may be getting more than your body needs. Write it down and bring it up with your doctor. Ask if your current supplements still make sense for your age and health history. Also, think about your diet. Colorful fruits and vegetables like sweet potatoes, spinach, and carrots offer plenty of safe, food-based vitamin A without the risk of overload. And when you get your nutrients from real food, you're also giving your body fiber, hydration, and energy the way nature intended. Staying healthy in your later years isn't about piling on more pills. It's about making smarter choices that match the needs of your body today, not the way it was 20 years ago. The strength in your legs is the foundation of your freedom, and it's never too late to protect that with a little attention and the right support. And just when you think you're covering all the bases, there's one more Supresian energy vitamin that may be working against your nerves. 3. The surprising danger of too much vitamin B6. Most people assume that if a vitamin gives you energy or supports your brain, more must be better. That's why vitamin B6 is found in so many multivitamins, energy blends, and brain health supplements. You might take it each morning with your eggs and toast, believing it helps you stay sharp and feel more awake before your walk around the neighborhood or trip to the grocery store. But here's the surprising truth: if you're taking too much, vitamin B6 can actually damage the very nerves in your legs that help you walk safely and confidently. While B6 is water-soluble, meaning the body usually flushes out what it doesn't need, high doses, especially above 100 milligrams a day, can build up and affect your nervous system. And the older you get, the more sensitive your nerves become. Many seniors don't realize just how much they're taking because it's often hidden in multiple supplements. The warning signs start out small: a tingling in the toes, a dull, numb feeling in your feet. Maybe you notice that your steps feel less certain going down the stairs, or you catch yourself tripping on the edge of a rug that never used to bother you. It's easy to blame these things on getting older, or poor circulation, or an old injury. But sometimes, it's the result of vitamin B6 slowly damaging your peripheral nervous condition called peripheral neuropathy. If this goes unchecked, it can progress. You may start avoiding your usual walk around the block, not because you're tired, but because your legs feel fraying, like they aren't doing what you tell them to. You might skip gardening in the backyard or hesitate before climbing the stairs in your home. These small choices pile up, and pretty soon, your activity shrinks, your muscles weaken, and your confidence drops. Here's what you can do. First, take a hard look at the labels on all your vitamins, especially anything labeled for energy or brain function. Add up the amount of B6 you're getting each day. If it's over 100 mg in many over-the-counter products, it's time to talk to your doctor. Ask them to check your levels and help you find the right dose for your age and health needs. Next, pay attention to your body. Don't brush off tingling, numbness, or clumsiness. Those signs are your body's way of speaking up. The sooner you listen, the easier it is to turn things around. Most importantly, know this: your legs still have life in them. Your nerves can still heal, especially if you catch the issue early. By being thoughtful with your supplements and aware of what your body is telling you, you can stay strong, steady, and independent right where you belong. As these vitamins take their toll, the changes show up slowly in the small things we do every day without even thinking twice. 4. Small signs, big impact. What subtle leg weakness could really mean? It's easy to believe that slowing down is just part of getting older. When walking up the stairs leaves you a little winded, or when standing up from the couch takes a bit more effort, you might shrug it off as just how it is now. Maybe you've started using the railing more, or you pause before stepping off the curb during your afternoon walk around the neighborhood. These subtle changes don't feel urgent, but they could be your body's way of signaling something deeper. For many older adults, a gradual loss of leg strength isn't always caused by aging alone. Sometimes, the real issue lies in the choices we've made with good intentions, like taking daily supplements we've used for years without question. Your body at 70 isn't the same as it was at 40, and what helped back then may no longer be right now. Muscle loss and balance problems can creep in without major warning signs. You might notice you're sitting more in the backyard than working in it. Grocery shopping might feel more tiring than usual, or you start to avoid longer aisles just to make it easier. These aren't just harmless changes, they are early signs of weakening muscles, and they often go unnoticed until there's a fall or a serious injury. The consequences of not addressing these quiet changes can be significant. When leg strength fades, it impacts more than just movement. It affects how confidently you get around your home, how safe you feel going up or downstairs, and whether you say yes or no to that family outing. The more you avoid movement, the faster muscles shrink and bones weaken, and the harder it becomes to bounce back. But here's the part that's often missed. These changes are sometimes tied to everyday habits that feel harmless. Taking the wrong combination of supplements or relying too heavily on pills instead of food can throw your body off balance. Vitamins like E, A, and B6 can build up over time if not carefully managed, especially when they come from multiple source multivitamins, fortified foods, energy drinks. What's meant to help may actually be part of what's holding you back. So what can you do? Start simple. Look at your daily habits. Are you taking several supplements without knowing exactly what's in them? Bring your bottles to your next doctor's appointment and ask for a review. Request a blood test that checks vitamin levels, not just the basics, but a full panel. Most importantly, move every day, even if it's just walking around the block or doing light stretches while watching TV. Choose real foods when you can: fresh produce, whole grains, lean meats. Your body knows how to use these better than anything in a bottle. You're not stuck with weakness. Your legs can still regain strength, your steps can still feel steady, and your daily life can still be your own. It's never too late to listen to your body and make choices that protect your strength and your freedom. But these quiet changes don't mean it's too late. In fact, they're the perfect reason to pause and take a closer look at what your body truly needs now. 5. What you do daily might be holding you back. Most of us trust our routines. We take our vitamins with breakfast, maybe go for a short walk, check the mail, run errands, water the garden. These habits feel familiar, comforting, even healthy. But there's one part of daily life that often gets overlooked, and it could be doing more harm than any pill in your medicine cabinet: sitting too much. It seems harmless. You sit to watch the news, read the paper, eat your meals, catch up with friends on the phone. Before you know it, several hours have passed, and you haven't moved much. For older adults, especially those who've retired or don't get out as often, this kind of stillness builds up quietly. It doesn't feel dangerous, but it absolutely can be. The body wasn't designed for long periods of inactivity. As we age, our muscles naturally shrink, bones lose density, and our balance gets more fragile. Add in hours of sitting each day, and you've got a recipe for faster decline. Your legs weaken, your hips get stiff, and even short trips to the grocery store or walking upstairs can start to feel like a chore. You might notice it in small ways, needing your arms to push up from a chair, feeling wobbly after standing too quickly, or hesitating before stepping off a curb. These aren't just signs of age, they are signs that your muscles aren't getting enough use. And the longer this goes on, the more your strength and independence fade. You might start avoiding outings, spending more time indoors, and relying more on others. Before long, your world shrinks, and not because you chose it to. But the good news is that changing this doesn't mean overhauling your entire life. You don't need to join a gym or start jogging 5 miles. You just need to break up long periods of sitting with movement. Every 3,060 minutes, stand up and walk around the house. Do a lap around the kitchen, march in place during TV commercials, or tend to your backyard garden in short bursts. If stairs are still an option, use them safely. Even going up and down once or twice a day helps your legs stay active. When you're at the supermarket, park a little farther out or take a couple of extra laps around the aisles. And most importantly, stay mindful of how often you're sitting. Awareness is step 1. Your strength isn't good nights just waiting for you to use it again. Our bodies, even as we get older, are still capable of growth and recovery. The key is to treat movement like a daily medicine, consistent, intentional, and necessary. Small actions, done often, can rebuild the muscle and balance you need to keep living the life you want in your own terms. Because once you start paying attention, you'll realize that you have more control than you think, and more time than you've been told. 6. You still have time to take control of your health. One of the most common misconceptions about aging is that decline is inevitably that slowing down. Losing strength or feeling unsteady is just something we all have to accept. But that belief can be more damaging than any medical condition. It leads people to stop asking questions, to stop looking for causes, and worst of all, to stop trying to improve. I've seen too many friends and neighbors assume that their leg weakness or balance problems were just normal aging, when in fact, something preventable was going on. Sometimes it's a supplement they've been taking for years without thinking twice. Sometimes it's spending too many hours in the recliner, watching TV, or scrolling on the tablet. No one told them that the body, especially after 60, becomes more sensitive, and not just to inactivity, but also to the little things we put in our mouths each day. A vitamin that worked for you 20 years ago might now be slowly working against you. The signs start small, taking a little longer to get out of bed in the morning, using the handrail more when going upstairs, skipping your usual loop around the neighborhood because your legs feel off. These moments can easily be brushed aside, but over time, they add up. Your body adapts to sitting more, moving less, doubting itself. Muscles shrink, balance fades, and before you know it, you're planning your day around what your body can't do, not what it can. The consequences of ignoring these early signs are real. Falls become more likely. Tasks like gardening in the backyard, climbing the front porch steps, or carrying groceries from the car feel harder or riskier. It's not just about physical strength, it's about confidence, independence, and quality of life. But here's the truth most people don't hear enough. You're not out of time. You're not stuck. You still have control, and more importantly, you have options. Start by checking what you're taking each day. That bottle of vitamins sitting by the coffee maker, have you ever really looked at the label? Do you know how much vitamin A, E, or B6 is in it? Bring it to your next doctor's appointment and ask questions. Ask for a blood panel that checks nutrient levels. The answers might surprise you and help you make safer, smarter choices. Also, don't underestimate the power of daily movement. Even short walks around the block, gentle stretching, or going up and down your stairs once or twice a day can help keep your legs strong. It doesn't have to be complicated, just consistent. You've lived long enough to know that health isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. And right now, what matters is choosing wisely, moving intentionally, and believing that your strength isn't behind you. It's still there and it's waiting for you to use it. And with just a few thoughtful changes, the strength you thought was fading may actually be waiting to return. 7. Strength is still within reach if you know where to look. One of the biggest myths about getting older is that once you start to slow down, there's no turning back. People assume weakness is just part of aging. You feel a little unsteady on the stairs. Your legs don't bounce back the way they used to. And it's easy to think, well, this is just how it is now. But too often, the real issue isn't a it's something much more preventable. The wrong habits, taken for granted over time. Take supplements, for example. A lot of folks trust them because they've been part of their routine for years. You see words like energy, heart health, or brain support printed on the bottles lined up next to the coffee maker. Maybe you started taking them in your 50s and just never stopped. But your body at 70 or 80 doesn't process nutrients the same way it did back then. What used to help can now quietly hurt, especially when vitamins build up without you realizing it. The warning signs are easy to miss. Maybe your legs feel more tired when bringing groceries in from the car, or you catch yourself leaning on furniture to stay steady while walking through the living room. You might not connect these things to that B6-packed supplement or the high-dose multivitamin you've been taking every morning, but your body might be sending signals that something's off. If you keep ignoring those signs, your world can get smaller. You stop walking your usual loop around the block. You avoid trips to the garden because the bending and standing feel too difficult. You choose the elevator more often, not out of convenience, but out of fear your legs won't hold steady on the stairs. This kind of gradual retreat chips away at confidence, and confidence is just as important as muscle when it comes to independence. But here's the shift that makes all the difference. You don't have to live this way. You still have time, and more importantly, you still have power. The first step is to get curious. Look at the labels on your supplements. Are you doubling up on certain vitamins without realizing it made from a multivitamin and a separate capsule? Write it all down and ask your doctor to review it with you. Better yet, ask for a blood panel that checks vitamin levels. It's one of the simplest ways to catch a problem before it turns into something bigger. In the meantime, start moving intentionally and consistently. You don't need to run laps or lift heavy weights. Just start where you are. Walk around the house, stretch in the morning, or step outside and pull a few weeds from the backyard. Every little bit of movement counts. Your legs haven't given up on you. They just need the right kind of care and attention. You can still walk strong, live independently, and feel confident in your own body. It's never too late to start making better choices, and the strength you build today will carry you into tomorrow. Because in the end, it's not just about supplements or routines, it's about protecting the life you've worked so hard to live, one wise step at a time. It's not too late to choose wisely. Many of us grew up believing that taking vitamins every day was just part of being healthy. A little extra support for the heart, the brain, the joints, it all sounded like common sense. But as we get older, our bodies change, and what once helped us can start to quietly hurt us. High doses of certain vitamins like E, A, and B6 can build up in ways we don't feel right away. It might start with tired legs after walking through the supermarket, or a little more effort getting up from the couch. These subtle signs are easy to brush off as normal aging, but they might be your body asking for a course correction. The good news is, small changes can make a big difference. You don't need to throw everything out or make drastic moves. Start by reviewing the supplements you take. Read the labels. Bring them with you to your next doctor's visit. Ask questions. Then, look at your day-to-day habits. Are you sitting more than you used to? Could you stand and stretch during the commercials or take an extra lap around the backyard? While watering your plants, you've worked hard to build a life of independence. That doesn't have to fade. Strength doesn't disappear overnight, it fades slowly when we stop paying attention. But it can also return, just as steadily when we choose differently. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just one wise decision away from protecting your balance, your mobility, and the freedom to keep enjoying the little things like walking around your neighborhood, climbing the stairs with ease, or pushing that shopping cart through the store without a second thought.